Good morning. It's Moho Monday. A great time to get your creative juices flowing for the week. How is everyone? I don't see anybody watching yet, but I'm sure some people will pop on. Today I am doing a card for using the Celebrate Sunflower stamp set. This came out 2 years ago and it's still in our annual catalog. So it is still available, and I'm just turning off all of my ringy dingies. I've got a couple of different phones here, and I am trying to turn off my notifications on everything. Sorry about that. Where is my do not disturb on this phone? Okay, perfect. Now I just have to remember to turn them all on later. Yeah, so Celebrate Sunflowers. This is a wonderful set. It's got a beautiful set of dies, particularly this intricate die that cuts out a gorgeous sunflower. And I have been making cards. I made a card actually and posted it to Stampin Up Canada because they were asking people to make cards in a blue and a yellow theme for the people of the Ukraine. It's very tragic what's happening there, and I mean, I personally feel hopeless. I don't know, the world's gone absolutely mad. I've kind of been saying that for a little while now with COVID and now this horrible thing. And yeah, so I don't know, we're just doing what we can to help. We've just done a large donation to the Canadian Red Cross, which we always do when there's some tragedy happening in the world. That's the best that we can do because of where we live. So anyway, I've created already a couple of cards, and I'll share them with you at the end of the video, and I'm going to make a third one based on the card sketch today. We've got a great little card sketch here. You can see it right here. I'll go through the measurements with you if you would like to follow along. So I'll go through the pieces, and then you can start cutting. We'll just, I'm feeling a little, I don't know, I will admit, I'm a little stressed these days because of what's going on. And so crafting has really, again, as usual, crafting helps calm me down and gets my mind into other things. Okay, so I'll turn the camera down. So Judy is watching. Let me just pull it up on my computer here so I can see your comments. So yeah, Judy is here. Oh, you used that set yesterday. Yes, good. Good morning, Barbara. Yeah, very good. Yes, I think, I can't remember now. I haven't posted it to Demonstrator Planning Place yet, but I will do that today. Okay, so what we've got here, so the colors that I'm using are this beautiful Misty Moonlight, and I'm using a Bumblebee as well, but you could use Daffodil Delight. Some of the other cards, one other card I made, I used Pacific Point and Daffodil Delight. So, good morning. Oh my goodness, I think that's Suzanne who's joined this morning. Welcome. Welcome. So let me turn the camera down, and then I'll show you my desktop so that you can see what I'm doing here. You can also choose to just take down the measurements, and then I will post the sketch after the video is finished, and then you can make the card later if you like. Or you can just craft with something else. If you've got a project that's on the go, or you want to start something new, you've got a birthday card to make, I'm happy with you doing that as well. All right, so yes, so here is the Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to be using Bumblebee, and I'm going to pull out a couple of different ribbons that I have been using as well. We've got ribbons in Bumblebee So here's the Bumblebee ink pad. So maybe I'll just start by showing you the other card I made. So with the brand new Waves of the Ocean suite that has just come out, and I'll be sending a newsletter today, I created this card using Pacific Point cardstock, and then I used the beautiful Waves of the Ocean DSP to create this card. I used my favorite embossing folder, the Bricks and Mortar embossing folder in the back. Don't know if you can see that. And believe it or not, yesterday I made 3 cards, and I stamped and colored these leaves and then cut them out with the die. And guess what? I cannot find the die anywhere today. I've looked everywhere. I've even taken this wand that has a magnet on the end, and I've kind of pushed it under all of my desks and drawer units, and I can't find that anywhere, but I'm sure it'll turn up. So on the last card I made, I had to fussy cut the leaves, which is never fun. But anyway, that's the card I made. I haven't done the insides yet. So that's the one. And the coloring of the sunflower is so fun with your blends. Our blends are great for that. Okay. And then I made this card. I used Daffodil Delight on this one and the Misty Moonlight. And so I made this one. And this paper is from that new House and Home DSP set that's in the mini catalog. This is a beautiful blue paper. And so I made this card, and I gave it a nice little gold center. And then I used our tailored tags and put a little gold ribbon on there. So that's the second card that I made. And then I made this card. So again, I used the same paper. And I stuck the paper down on here, on top of some Whisper White, or I keep saying Whisper White again. That's come up again in the last couple of weeks. And I thought I'd finished with Whisper White. It's basic white. Then I ran the whole thing through an embossing folder. And then I did these kinds of leaves, these cutout leaves. And all the cards say thinking of you on them. Okay, so that's the third card that I made. But today I'm going back to using that beautiful blue paper again. Okay, so see, these are some of the ribbons that I use. So this is a Bumblebee ribbon. This one also is a Bumblebee ribbon. These are all in the annual catalog. And then we also, these were the in colors, right? So this is the Misty Moonlight color and the Bumblebee. Okay, so those are some ribbons that I've been using. And I also used a gold ribbon on one of the cards. So just, you know, if you pull out everything that's gold and blue, you should be able to come up with something beautiful. So here is the gorgeous flower stamp. So I won't be using this one on this card. I'm going to use the smaller one. Let's pull in the stamp set. So there's a smaller little sunflower here that I would like to color and then cut out. There's a die for that. And then there's these smaller leaves. I'll probably add a few extra little leaves on there. And there isn't really an appropriate greeting for what I want. So I pulled out some other stamp sets to find a thinking of you greeting. So if you've got the On the Horizon stamp set, there's a really nice thinking of you in there. And there are lots of other thinking of you ones in your stash. I am sure you'll find something if you wanted to make a card for the Ukraine. And we got, this was a celebration. You could earn this for free. This was a great special moments greeting stamp set. And it had something thinking of you here as well. So if you've got that one, that's perfect. Okay, ladies. Thank you, Barbara. Good morning, Christine. Suzanne, I am absolutely thrilled that you're finding me and you're here. It's been a long time. All right, so let's start creating. So I'm going to give you the measurements here. So if you want to write these down, you could take a screenshot of this as well, but I will post it on there, on this, this Facebook Live. Okay, so you've got a regular card base. I've chosen to use basic white. So this is your half sheet of cardstock. And I am going to grab my bone folder and just burnish the fold so it lies flat. All right, so regular, don't know what that is, so I'll turn it over. And then I've got the Misty Moonlight for the regular layer. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I may emboss this piece. I haven't decided yet. I brought in one of our newest, there were a couple of different new embossing folders in the mini catalog. This is called the Gingham embossing folder. And at first I wasn't attracted to it, but I'm glad I got it because it really does create a nice sort of a background raised image. Okay. All right. Then we've got a piece that goes across. So I thought I would pull in the yellow. So this piece here, this is this gray piece here. This measures 4 by 2. So it's going to go across like that. I'll just lay this out for you so you can see it. Okay, and then I decided to cut the beautiful blue paper here. So the back has got all of the reverse sides of this paper are all wood grains. And what's nice about these wood grains, they're quite pale, and so you can do a lot of stamping on here. I'm really into stamping on DSP lately, which is kind of fun. So we've got that 3 by 4 piece. Then we've got this 1 by 4 strip here. There's quite a bit to this card. So that's a 1 by 4 strip. That's going to go like that, I guess. Okay. Excuse me. I apologize if I cough. My asthma is really bad. I've finally made a note on the kitchen, in the kitchen, to call my doctor today. I need a prescription for my puffer because I've been struggling these days really badly because, you know, the spring flowers are starting to pop. Okay, and then this last piece is 1 3/4 by 3. So we're going to put that on here. Now, the thing that I liked about this is that because I made 2 vertical cards, or what we call portrait style cards, I have decided to make a card. I wanted one that goes landscape. So I can just flip this around. So watch, I'm going to flip this around and it's going to look just as cool flipped around. Okay, so when you're working with a card sketch, don't be afraid to change the direction. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I kind of see some stamping on here or a lot of embossing on here. Okay. All right, so let's do a little bit of stamping. So I'm pulling out a fresh piece. I'll try and leave this in view for you guys. And then I'm going to grab my sponge mat. Oh no, we don't need the sponging. We don't need sponging at all because we are using red rubber stamps, so we don't need a spongy surface. Excuse me, ladies. Okay, so I'm going to excuse me, that block's too small, but I can use that for this block here. Okay, and I'm going to pull this out. So correct me if I'm wrong for those of you that are demonstrators watching. I'm trying to remember if, I think it did, but I'm trying to remember if this Celebrate Sunflowers came with designer series paper or not. So if you still have that designer series paper, you could pull that out. But I don't think there was any blue in it. Okay, so I'm going to get my Memento ink out. Now, I'm sure I've told this to you before, but when you use your Memento ink, if you're going to be using blends, you want to kind of let it sit for a bit. Before you color it. Okay. Now, another thing I thought that I would do is maybe stamp on I thought I would maybe stamp on, sorry, where's my image? Yeah. So we've got a larger leaf. We've got these two little leaves and then the two sunflowers. So there's no real background bits on there like any what I call grunge images. So maybe I'll just do these little leaves. I'm just going to stamp the little leaves on here just to give it a little texture maybe. So I might just randomly, and I'll just keep turning the stamp. I hope everyone enjoyed the sunshine yesterday. It was beautiful. I went for a walk with my husband in the afternoon. I have been suffering terribly. Yes, you can feel sorry for me. I've been suffering terribly with plantar fasciitis. It just came on out of the blue from nowhere. So I haven't been able to do my regular workouts because it's painful to walk. And I've had it maybe for about a month, and then I went to see a physiotherapist on Friday. So I'm having some kind of shockwave therapy on my heel. That's really pleasant, I can tell you. But I haven't, gone for walks, and I'm really feeling sluggish and not myself because I really enjoy my workouts. So I went for a walk yesterday and I put on my really good runners. So I felt okay walking, but oh my gosh, did I suffer when I got home. My foot was so painful. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of coloring. Sorry, I put my blends on my other table to make room here. So Stampin' Up, because we already had 2 sets of blends that are in the yellow range, they did not come out with a bumblebee color. So I often use the Mango Melody, the light and the dark Mango Melody. And you could start coloring in with a little bit of the this is So Saffron, I think. Yeah, So Saffron. And some sunflowers, you could pull in a little bit of pumpkin pie as well. So I'm not going to go into big detail here just because we're live. But I'm just going to, I may even leave some of these. Don't be afraid of not coloring the sunflowers like what I did with this one. I just stamped it in the blue and did a yellow center. I think that's, if you don't want it to look realistic, then that's a total possibility. The other thing you can do is stamp your sunflower on the cardstock, on, your yellow, or on your, any of your yellow cardstocks. So you could do that. So, have any of you ever had plantar fasciitis? It's not pleasant. Everybody I've talked to has had it. And it does go away eventually. Yes, some people are starting to do their gardening. We're headed for tons of rain again this week. We usually don't start doing any gardening until May. We don't do much in the actual garden. I used to have lots of garden beds, but I had back issues. That's why I quit golf, and so I wasn't getting on my hands and knees anymore for gardening. So we've done different kind of things in the garden. Like we've got rocks, a lot of rocks in our gardens, and we kind of made bit of a beachy scene at the front of the house with driftwood and some old iron things, and I put in some seashells and little starfish. So but I love to do potted plants. So I have a lot on my deck in the summer. I have kind of a deck and a patio, and that's what I usually do, is just potted plants. But we don't really start that until May, because we're only in March, remember, and you can get frosty weather in March, believe it or not. Okay, so I'm going to pull in some green. For the leaves, I'm using Old Olive for the leaves. So what are some of your favorite, if we go back to talking about potted plants, what are some of your favorite potted plants that you do for summer? I've also got 2 window boxes here in my craft room. So I usually fill those with the red geraniums. I love red geraniums, and they're easy to grow. And I do herbs. And my husband loves to grow garlic. I'm just doing a little bit of dark green in the leaves. I love my blends. So I don't know if you noticed, and I didn't really talk about it anywhere, but we've got a whole new set of blends just for skin tones. They called, they said it was for skin tones, but we don't often have skin toned stamp images, but oh my gosh, they are wonderful for any animals that you might, deer and bear. We've got lots of animal stamps, so they're great for that. We always have lots of little creatures. Okay, so now I'm going to do the sunflower middle, and I'm going to start with, now what's fantastic about the sunflower, ladies, is that there is a die, which is an embossed die, where are my dies here? So this is what I do when I get a brand new set of dies. The very first thing is I put it in my scanner, and I scan a photo of the dies, and I put it on here so that I know exactly where the dies go to fit back on the card. You know how difficult it is to fit them back on the card often. And so I do that. And this is the die I'm missing right here. I can't find it anywhere. I just can't find it anywhere. Yesterday I found a die. Oh my gosh. I think it's the leaf. Oh my gosh, you guys. You won't believe how silly I am. Okay. Yesterday I found this die, and I was holding it this way, and I thought it was, because I've been using Art Gallery stamp set, and there's a die that's very similar to this, like the flower, and so I thought it was from that stamp set. So I pulled the stamp set out, looked at my picture, and I went, no, that's not it. And I could not figure out which this was. Well, guess what? It's the leaf. So here I'd lost the leaf, and this is it. I just thought of it now. Oh my gosh, Erica, you're such a ninny. So I didn't have to die cut those leaves this morning at all. There's the die for the leaf. Oh my gosh. You guys think I'm nuts. Good morning, Carol Lynn. Oh, Christine, you're talking about hydrangea. Yes, all the buds are out on my hydrangeas. I'm so excited because I have quite a few hydrangeas. Well, quite a few. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 hydrangeas. yeah, I'm very excited. And all the buds are out. I'm so excited. We did a huge, Phil always does a big trim in the fall or early spring. Yeah, so here I go. I'm going in all directions today. Sorry. So look at this really cute little die. And so on one of my cards, I did it with, you know, I colored in the background, then I added it in the bumblebee. And then on this card, I love it in gold. Look, I did it in gold. So pretty. So that is a fun addition to your sunflower. And then you get 2 sets of leaves. The leaf I just showed you, plus you get this outline leaf. Look at this. This is so cool. So you can do these. So I did them in the bumblebee yesterday. And then you've got 2 of these fantastic sprigs. These are fantastic for filling in. Anytime you do floral cards and you want some greenery to fill in, you've got 2 of these. They're different. One is a double and one is a single. Those are fun. Okay, so I need, these are the tiny little leaves. I'm going to cut these out. Okay, they cut out separately, but it's one die. And then I need this die for this here. Okay. So let's, I really and truly need to pull out a little I used to have a magnet dish, but it was too big. I need to find a little magnet dish that I can just throw my dies into as I'm working. Anybody know of that? Is there such a creature as a little magnet bowl? How do you guys keep track of your dies when you're working? So I'm just going to color this whole thing in my crumb cake. Now you can get really creative. You can do sunflowers in any color. You could do them like Lazy Susans, or you could do them like daisies, or yeah, you can just go crazy with them. Some people have actually made these centers all totally green. I'm just going to add a little bit of green to the outside, and you can color these any way you want. Okay, and then I'm going to add, this is soft suede. I'll do a little bit of soft suede in here. Okay, so I think that's good. So I'm going to go and cut these out. I'm right here. My big shot is, or my machine is right here. Also, I don't know if you guys know, but our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is on sale this month with a number of stamp set bundles that will fit in the mini machine. And they're all on sale, or the machine is on sale for 20% off. So if you don't have a machine, or you need an upgrade, or you want something smaller, now would be a good time to get that. So I'm going to do a newsletter today and send that out with information on that, as well as the new Waves of the Ocean suite. I'll let you know all about that. Okay. Oh my gosh, what happened? That completely, look at that, that fell off the rails. So I'm going to have to fussy cut that a little bit. I won't do it again, obviously, because of all the coloring, but It must have moved. So I should have used, and I even used these little tape things. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Something happened there. Okay, so let's just do a little fussy cutting. Oh, Tracy's joined us. Tracy's one of my team members from... Oh, no, sorry. I've got another thread going on here. Oh, my goodness. Carol Ferguson is here. Hi, Carol. Carol Lynn, Carol Ferguson, my friend Carol Skanes. She must be off doing something else today. She's probably in the garden. So nice to see everyone. Shoe inserts. Yes, my sister told me I should go get orthotics. Oh, you have a small magnet thing from the sewing store that's designed for pins and it works well for dies. Oh, okay, that's a good suggestion. I will have a look and see if I can find that. Okay, let's just give these a little haircut. Sorry if I'm chattering too much this morning. Helps alleviate stress, maybe. Causes you stress, but helps me alleviate stress to have a little chit chat. This whole Ukrainian thing is so upsetting. We have a friend who lives in Alberta and he's got family in the Ukraine. You know, you'd think with all the different wars that we've had that, you know, it's 2022. Come on. Live in peace for a change. Be happy with what you've got. Enjoy your health and your family. I guess we can't help that people go mad or are mad. This will be just fine. Okay. I think that will work. Ooh, we've got lots of little bits everywhere. Okay. All right. Let's start designing. Okay, so I'm going to do a sideways one. So let me think now. I think I'm going to emboss this piece here. So I'm going to do this embossing folder and let's emboss it. I watched a video yesterday and somebody had pointed out this line down here. If you have a hard time lining things up, you actually use this little line in here and just line up your cardstock right on that line. I just thought the line was part of the logo. I don't know. But anyway, kind of a handy tip. I just want to show you something. So we have, if you're using the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, plate number 4 is used for our embossing folders. And if you have some older embossing folders from before this machine, before they redesigned them, because they're now a new thickness, when you run it through with this, because your sandwich is your base plate, okay, then your embossing folder with your cardstock and then this plate on top. Well, some of the older embossing folders will go through with no pressure whatsoever, and so that won't work. And so you can just add a cardstock shim to it, 1 or 2 pieces of cardstock on top of it, and then it should go through. And I've noticed that even some of the newer dies, if they're not the 3D dies, they sometimes need a bit of a shim. Actually, this needs quite a bit of a shim. This actually might need a different plate. Let me just try. I don't know what I'm doing here. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So now my paper has shifted, so let me realign that. Okay. And again, remember to always run your embossing folder through the machine with the fold going forward through the machine. Okay? Okay, so even though this is a newer embossing folder, I had to use a regular sandwich, the base plate plus 2 acrylic plates. So sometimes you have to just adjust your sandwich. But look how cool, yeah, it's quite thin, this one. So look how cool this is. Can you see that? Okay, so let's start building up our... Now, I have to first decide, do I want to do any ribbon on here? So let's put this back together again. Let's move all my pens out of the way. And let's find, I want to do the sketch like this. Okay, so this is going to go like this. This is going to go across like this. It's going to get quite hidden under there. So, and then I've got this one. Then I've got this one. Then I've got this one underneath it. So this one I stamped. You know what? I'm going to emboss this little piece too, because I'm just going to stick my flowers on top. So I think I'll emboss this one. Okay, and we're going to do this on top like this somehow, and then we're going to put 2 additional leaves on here. Now I want another thinking of you greeting on here. So I'll do this scripty one. I like this one, thinking of you. And let's take this one off. Let's put it back in the case so I don't lose it. I'll just stick it there. Okay, so let's put this on a block. And let's do this, and we'll do it in black. And let's get our little strip of paper. Oh my goodness, I've just lost my feed. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's another Carol. Carol, hi, another Carol has joined us this morning. Okay, I'm going to pull this right forward so I can get my head right over it. Okay, I stamped it straight for a change. Now this one I think I'm going to flag the end. I haven't done any flagging for these cards yet. So I go up the middle and then flag and flag. Okay, let's cover my ink pad. There is a lot going on in this card, so maybe I don't need any ribbon. What do you guys think? I think there's enough going on in here. So this piece is off like that. And then this piece is like this. And then we're going to, so I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in my silicone mat and I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to take my Tombow glue. I'm going to just put a little bit of Tombow on the end of those leaves like that. And I'll do, don't necessarily want them at the opposing end, but I'll do them like here. Okay. And this definitely I want on dimensionals as well as my little flag. So let's get out my mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Anybody have any special crafting projects they need to do this week? Any birthdays or anniversaries coming up? Well, I better not take those off yet because I have to stick all this stuff on first. Anybody answered about ribbon? No ribbon. Thanks, Barbara. Yeah, I think we've got enough going on here. All right, so let's start putting this together. So again, this is an embossed piece, so I prefer to use Tombow. On here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, and then we need, where's my sketch? I'm going to turn it sideways. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. So let's put this piece on next. Now, I don't know if you, I'm sure I've told you this trick before, but if you have a glue eraser and when you cut your cardstock, you end up with these hairy bits. I call them hairy bits, but they're just, when you cut it, if you've pressed your blade down too hard, sometimes you get these little shards of cardstock sticking out. So if you take your glue eraser, they'll just rub right off. Okay, so we're gluing that on like that. You want to make sure your edges are well lined up. I should have stuck this on before I glued the blue piece down, and then I could have trimmed it a bit. Okay, then we've got this piece. Isn't this paper beautiful? I love this paper. This I didn't do right. Okay, so I have to adjust my design now. I put it too far down on the card. Well, let's see. What if I did that? And then I want this strip. It's going to go like this. Maybe I can do that. And then this strip will go here. Yeah, that'll work, eh? And then my thinking of you, we could put right here. Or we could put it up here. Oh, I like it up here. Okay, maybe I'll do it up here. Okay, what haven't I stuck down yet? This piece. Then this piece. I'll pull this out further this way. Okay. Then I'm going to do this piece. I'm going to pull it out. Like that. Okay, then it's time to put our sunflower on here. My recycle bin is too far under my table. I can't reach it. Okay. All right, so these are the last two elements. So let's just coordinate this. I might do this one like right here and then this right here. Yeah, I like the thinking of you right there. I like that right there. And I like this one right here. Okay. What do you think? Judy, you're going to make 2 birthday cards and an anniversary card today needed for the weekend. I've been making March birthday cards as well. I'm loving the art gallery bundle. I know, isn't that spectacular? Thank you, ladies. Now, how about a bit of, I haven't used any Wink of Stella on these cards. I thought I would do it at the end. But let's put a little Wink of Stella in the, oh, I used, I had color on here. Let's just put a little bit of Wink. in here. And I didn't add any embellishments because I haven't quite decided what to do. I just wanted to get, oh boy, I just squeezed that and it's really flowing out. Woo! Okay, I better lie that on its side for a while. All right, ladies, there's your card today. So I will post the sketch and I will post the cards. So I'd love to see what you make if you decide to do portrait or landscape. And if you would make a card, doesn't have to be using the sunflowers, of course, but you can use whatever you like. It's just to get you crafting. Some of you already got enough going on this week, but I always love to see what you guys make. So thank you so much for watching. Here's my 3 cards again. I'll bring them in. Let's move this out of the way. So there are my 3 cards that I've made. Okay, ladies, have a great week. I will be back on Thursday night for Case the Caddy. I haven't looked in there yet to decide what to make, but I could also case something from the annual catalog. Can you believe that, I mean, we'll be getting a preview of the new annual catalog coming up shortly. So, yeah. New things are coming. So thanks once again. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.